Welcome, viewers, listeners, and homebodies to Radio Big Sky's Pivot, Episode 3, where we feature local peeps and their stories of change and inspiration and courage and other things. Check us out on Instagram at Radio Big Sky for upcoming guests and shows. Everyone's got a story, and it must be told. Today, we are so fortunate to be joined by my life guru and balancer, like our screen is now, hopefully, the and spiritual awakeness of Miss Jill Jackson. Jill, let's start with a brief snapshot of how you ended up in Big Sky. By the way, we do enjoy beverages. Today's beverage is brought to you by Beehive Basin Delivery. I got home and there were 3 crowlers on my porch.
Wow.
Don't forget to hit them up. You can find them all social media and make a little order and they get delivered to you. And I see you have straight vodka.
Straight vodka. Room temp.
Water out of a wine glass.
That's right. Get fancy.
Let's get that Jill story to Big Sky.
Okay, how I got to Big Sky?
Yeah.
Let's see, 24 years ago, I was working in Seattle at a place called Seattle Fudge in Seattle Center. A lot of people know about it.
Yeah.
And my boss out there.
Did they make it right there?
They make it right there.
Yeah.
They do it on the marble and everything. And then my boss, his brother-in-law was managing the 320 at the time. So he got my friend and I a job out there for a summer. So we were dish dogs at the 320.
Cool.
25 years ago. Been 25 years ago.
So
so that's how I got out here. And then once I was out here, I was like, I'm never going back to Seattle.
Gotcha. Especially right now. By the way, we don't use the C word on this show, but we may reference it somewhere along the way if we get there. But help us picture the day in the life of Jill and where your workspace, your spiritual space.
Right now?
Yeah.
Like in this?
Well, in this.
Like, what my normal day would look like?
Let's go back to normalcy. That's
normalcy. Okay.
Yeah.
So normalcy would be I get up early. Well, I get up at 6-ish, and I have a personal meditation practice that I do 20 or 25 minutes, and I have a little bit of time for myself, and then I get my kids up and get them going for the day, and then get them out the door and back in the day. And then I usually try to get out of do some exercise of some kind, like go cross-country skiing or yoga, and then work. And so body work down at my office, which I haven't been to in a while, down by the old Caliber, old Bugaboo, what is that now? I don't know. And then,
Cafe 191.
Cafe 191. And then back to, the day of work, see my people and come back home and make dinner and put everyone to bed and do it all over again.
So there's a balance there, it seems, between yourself, a 3-way balance, yourself, your work, which is part of yourself, but then your family. And I know you have 2 amazing, awesome little monsters. What does family mean to you?
Family is everything. Family is the most important thing to me. And really, for me, that's, again, taking care of myself first so that I can really be able to fully give to them. And, in normal life, just trying to be there for them. And now it's gotten even more challenging of really trying to create balance for them too, so that they can learn how to self-care, because really it's without any structure, it's hard for them to find that. So, and really leading by example, I think, is the best way to do that. So making sure that I'm balancing in my own life.
How about in recent events? How has that, I call it a battle with balance. Being a Libra, I'm supposed to be balanced all the time, and I'm not. I'm like this scale, then this scale, then this scale. And then sometimes it goes here. So how have you been recently, due to recent of current events, how have you been finding the time or the space to do all the things that you used to do, what's that look like for our viewers? Like, we were probably starting to struggle. I woke up this morning. I've done 5 weeks of online learning, or this is our 5th week, and every day I've been jazzed and pumped. And this morning I woke up and I looked outside and I said, what in the world's going on around here? What is happening? And so I've had my first unbalanced day, ironically.
Wow.
So what have you been doing in this time?
Well, first of all, I think it's pretty amazing that this is your first unbalanced day. So for me, it's been super up and down. And, some days are really awesome. And then some days are like terrible. And especially with my kids, I mean, we're all struggling. And so I always just come back to my personal practice. And for me, that starts with breath and also accepting that some days are going to really suck, and that's just the way it is. And, get through it and be compassionate and really like to be compassionate to myself. And I'm really trying to have compassion for my kids too, which is really challenging on some days, as maybe you know.
I think this is also a time where we all need to be a little bit softer on ourselves.
Yeah.
I was really hard on myself this morning, but I worked through it, speaking to my students all day. That helped. This helps. Went out. I got a longboard this weekend, so I've never been a skater, and so I've been.
Don't hurt yourself.
Up and down the street very cautiously, because that's the last place we want to go is to that place. And so that's almost like a mini pivot. So when I say the word pivot, what does that mean to you?
I mean, when I was reading through my notes, to me, a pivot is like it's a shift. I mean, it's a transition. It's a change in a direction. Maybe 180 or 90 or whatever, but some kind of shift.
Where's your shift? Where recently, long time ago? What helps define who you are today, and when did that pivot happen?
I think that like the biggest major event in my life was a awful motorcycle accident that I was in 22 years ago, where I lost my friend. And that was a huge life transition for me. I mean, it threw me into a deep depression, and it really forced me to look at myself and to work through it. And it took a really long time to get through, but it was like, that probably is my biggest defining moment. And that's what brought me into my yoga path also.
Yeah.
That's what
I think we talk about authenticity in these times of pivot.
Yeah.
When we have to face ourselves, like who am I really, and what am I doing? And that might've been a time for you to do that.
Oh, for sure. And that there's so much more to life than partying and snowboarding,
Some people would disagree, even some of our viewers.
I mean, okay, I still think that's.
I think that everyone's got their own, part of their story, and that's part of many people's chapter, especially in this town. But
yeah, but it really that really just forced me to go deeper, within myself, and to learn how to use myself as a resource, and not to always be going outwards to try to get help, and to really know how to tune in.
I think we're very fortunate too, living in Big Sky. We've got a very supportive community of friends and programs and things. So when I say the word Big Sky, what does that mean to you?
My first thought would be love. I love Big Sky so much. Big Sky is home for me, and I feel so lucky to be here and to have found this place. And I mean, the community, the nature, everything about it is school. Everything is really, it's home. It's total home for me.
Yeah. We've been doing some social distancing in the neighborhood every night, and it brings a little bit of how do I say it? Consistency to the day. It brings something where we can all, a few of us go and we meet at the crossroads down here in Ramshorn, and stay safe away from each other, but have conversations that are helping us all sort of, manage what's going on right now. So, what do you think, if there was a place other than Big Sky, where would you go?
Hawaii.
Hawaii, yes. You spend a lot of time there. Travel's a big part of your life.
Yeah, it has been.
Tell us a little bit about the Hawaii experience.
Well, my dad lives there, and that's where I went to massage school. And I also grew up on Oahu, so I lived on Oahu when I was a kid. And my dad lives on Kauai, so yeah, Kauai to me is it's like my other home, and it's kind of like Big Sky in a way where you're surrounded by nature, and people are kind of extreme, and with like surfing and water sports, and even the mountains there too. The mountains there are yeah, you can get really hurt out there. But the beauty is amazing, and I just love it there so much. So
cool.
Yeah.
We're trying a new thing also this week. I have a co-host. Her name is Heather Morris, who most of us out there know. She is my co-host from afar, and she has shot me some questions we call rapid fire here. So just kind of do it as you would without thinking about it.
Okay.
What activity that everyone in Big Sky loves do you secretly loathe?
Curling.
What's one piece of hair advice that you wish people would listen to?
More mohawks.
More mohawks. Hashtag that. More mohawks. Your go-to anthem to sing when you need to get pumped up.
Oh, that's a hard one. I'm going to say right now it's Truth Hurts by Lizzo.
Good one. I love that. Favorite Easter candy?
Chocolate.
I'm more of a Reese's. Anything Reese's, peanut butter chocolate. During the winter, people will find you outside of work where?
Cross-country skiing.
Summer, where?
Hiking.
Favorite hike?
Can I say that?
Yeah.
Bear Basin.
Cool. If you were a ski run, what would your name be?
Oh, man, I need my kids for that one.
Man bun, yay or nay?
Man bun. Yay.
Yay on the man bun?
Yeah, yay.
All right. In honor of James Lipton from the Actor Studio and George Carlin, what's your favorite swear word?
Can I say that on here?
Yeah.
Fuck.
All right. Good one. Something new we've never done. You get to ask me a question.
Oh, I was going to ask you, what is your daily spiritual practice?
Oh, man. What makes me happy most, I think, is doing things for others.
That's the top one.
Throughout my life, I've somehow put everyone else in front of me. So that doesn't work all the time because I don't save time for myself. Right now, I'm sort of like an adult ADHD or something where I have a hard time focusing on one thing. So this weekend, I learned 2 songs on my ukulele, which I haven't picked up in 2 years. I wrote Riptide and Hallelujah. I got this longboard, so I'm kind of playing around with that because the boys in the neighborhood are all back into skating right now. I really like to sit on my raft and go fishing. So a lot of my stuff, I guess, when I'm not doing things for others, whether it's in this virtual classroom or in the actual classroom, I do a lot of things in the community, try to, this is trying to, shed some lighthearted fun on people when they're, need some entertainment. I love doing like theater stuff. Lately, we've been doing some online theater silliness. So I guess those are my things. I tried the meditation stage, didn't last very long. I did the yoga stage. I should get back into that because when I wake up, I'm sore from getting out of bed. So that is probably a sign that when things get going again, maybe I need someone like yourself to just kick my ass. So I guess those are things that keep me going.
Yeah.
A word that came into my head today is orientation. And I'm thinking about your pivot and your balance, and then this word orientation came in about where we are right now in this place. And so I'm mulling over that right now, and that's all I have to say about it. But it is something that's creating, I think, a lot of traction right now, is orientating. Where are we all in this space, in this earth, and what are we going to do to fix things? Like, it's almost like Mother Nature sent us to our room and said, go to your room and don't come out until you have an answer. And I got to give Liz McCrae credit for that, because we were talking about that. That's actually like her term that she used to me. That's not something I invented, and I hope when we all get released from our little, grounding here from Mother Nature, that we all come out of this with some more compassion and some ideas about what is my role in this earth in the larger picture than just myself. So that's where I'm heading in my thoughts there. So
I love that. And then, what I wanted to say too is like two things. And one is like, when you're feeling lost or you're having a hard time, like the best thing that you can do is to be of service, right?
Yep.
Like to lift yourself up. And then also that, anything can really be a meditation, that you don't have to have like a daily sit down 20-minute, 30, whatever practice. Like anything you do can be a meditation if it's done mindfully.
Yeah.
So fishing or walking or riding your longboard or whatever, washing the dishes, or anything. It's like,
the dishes are unbelievable these last 5 weeks. I mean, I think that thing is running at least once a day. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
The laundry seems to have gone down because we're all wearing the same stuff, like, at least in our house. The showers have gone down, but the dishes are out of control.
My house too.
Thank you, Jill. I've known you for several years, and I know you're someone I can always turn to for advice like today. And I hope that some new listeners or some of our audience can take something from what you've shared, because your wisdom is deep, and we can move forward. And when we're all done, we're going to get a big old hug when we get outside again and
Yay.
See. So I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me on.
You're
I'm
amazing.
honored.
And we will see you, everyone, later this week.